Annyeonghaseyo everyone, I'm a Valentine here. Alhamdulillah, what's up everybody? I'm a Valentine here. It is the next day from the last time I filmed this video, so I've been kind of back to back talking to y'all, which is actually very nice. And I just got back home from work, and when I tell you I feel like kind of overwhelmed, stressed, drained, thinking about the things I said yesterday. I know I was talking about like getting paid a certain amount, and then I'm like thinking today, and I'm like, thinking about how much I get paid and how much I feel like I'm worth and all of this. So it's funny, it's almost like the thing you say with such confidence gets tested, right? So thinking about that, and just thinking about where I am in life and the things I want, just kind of think about that. And then on top of that, just being busy at work, things kind of not going how I had planned, but still like just super grateful for my teammates, like the people I work with, and grateful to see very clearly that there's sometimes where you get back what you give. And I feel like I just noticed that with my teammates, where it's like there may have been one point like when I first met someone and I'm like, I don't know, it seems like they have an attitude, or like, maybe the work ethic is a little bit off. To see it go from that to just like me not returning that energy and still just being who I am, which is like saying thank you, giving props when it's due and things like that. And just to see people give that energy back to me, even when it's like I'm not directly saying, hey, you need to bring a better attitude, but like to see a positive shift in the attitude when I'm working with them, versus someone who, would see an issue and then try to go tit for tat and be petty and force someone to change in a certain way, or try to force someone, or just, to treat them with the same disrespect that maybe they received. And to see that not work out, and to see what that breeds, versus, still being myself and just trying my best, still bringing my attitude and purposely setting an example of a standard. And I don't mean to make it sound more serious than it is, but I do analyze my day, I reflect on my day, and I like to think that God is preparing me for a larger space of leadership in my life. So I do take my job seriously. Like, it doesn't matter that I work in fast food, it doesn't matter that I'm young and that I'm just a leader for like a shift food lead, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. It does matter, but it doesn't make me think less of it. It doesn't make me recognize less that I'm dealing with human beings, and these are still human interactions. So it doesn't matter how much money is being made or whatever scale. Like, a lot of these lessons I'm learning will transfer over, but just to see how like the team pulled through, and nobody was complaining, everybody was just super sweet, and even like them being responsive to me, where it's like I think it was somewhat obvious that I was a little bit overwhelmed, and but I didn't take it out on anyone. It wasn't like I was like yelling, I wasn't being like rude or dismissive even. I was just kind of like but they still like stepped in and just they just took care of stuff for me. I might cry again. But yeah, it was just one of those days where like I really appreciated that, because like I said, I was just kind of a little bit overwhelmed, and thinking about some of the things that are unsolved that I still have to figure out. Just kind of frustrated. Well, really not frustrated, just feeling kind of weighed down. So yeah, I just really appreciated that. And I'm grateful that I have been able to learn a lot of lessons. I'm grateful that I was able to grow up reading books and getting suggestions from my dad, and for, my parents teaching me how to read and encouraging me being a big reader. Like, I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the fact that, I started really looking to work on myself, which is crazy. Like in 8th grade or the end of 7th grade, or no, maybe it was 8th grade, I don't know. Just looking to improve myself, and all the time I spent reading so many things and learning so many things, all the times that I've spent reading about leadership, and, you know, even the time I take now trying to just work on myself and pray and like believe in God and self-development, and I want to just keep doing it more. I'm trying to think of like how I can improve now. Like, I know something I do a lot is I'm late a lot, and even though that doesn't directly disrespect anyone, it is disrespectful of people's time, and it's disrespectful of what my team has to take on because I'm not there, because I'm being late. And it also says that I don't think what I'm doing is important as well, without me meaning it to say that, with even though that's not the intention and that's not how I feel. It's still a part of like taking something for granted. It shows that I feel like I couldn't lose it, and it shows that I feel like I don't need to be accountable for that as well. And those are not good things in any capacity. Speaking of capacity, that should be the title of this video, unless I forget. But I was sitting here thinking about capacity. I told y'all kind of how I was feeling. So while I was locking up at work today, leaving, you know, I ended up leaving late, and I was last to leave just because I had a couple things that I needed to finish off. And everybody's, my closing teammates, they still stayed over. Every single one of them stayed over a little bit to help out. I was super grateful for that. And but yeah, so I was still wrote a couple of notes in the book about just like how helpful everybody was. And yeah, and what's it called? I just thought about, like, I met someone today that I met before, and how they ended up being where I was at today. It's odd how that happened. But, what's I saying? Oh yeah, when I was locking up, I sent a text message, because literally I was crying. I was crying because I was just thinking about how, like, sweet everyone was today. And, it just hit my heart space, it really did. And one last thing, like, I feel like tone is one of the most underrated, super important things. Like, having a respectful or positive or polite tone, like, and I'm not saying like the basic customer service tone, I'm saying just like gentleness in your tone. Like, I feel like I'm becoming so much more patient. And I'm so happy to see that, because I feel like that's a part of being graceful. That's a part of being elegant. And being patient is, I feel like that's a part of that. And I want to be a graceful woman. I want to be an elegant woman. And even though I do curse a lot, I curse a lot, to the point where sometimes I'm like, dang, Elma, like, you gotta chill a little bit, because, like, you know. But anyways, that's not what I was talking about. Just to see how, like, the result of using a gentle tone versus using a tone that is harsh, and seeing the difference in response that comes with that is super important. I feel like, you know, I hope that more and more people start to know that and recognize that on the day-to-day, because it's the day-to-day that counts. Like, this is where we're at. We are in the day-to-day. It's not only about the big picture. Sometimes I think about the big picture. I was thinking about this yesterday, but like, me as a leader, I was thinking, I'm like, you know, I don't want to become the leader that is solely focused on the big picture, that we don't recognize like what keeps that big picture going, and misses out on the little details that are actually important because I'm only focused on the bigger picture. Because the bigger picture is made up of a million little details. So details are important. They say the devil's in the details now. But what I was saying about capacity, so I was locking up, sent that little message of like how everybody was so sweet. And I was like, I literally cried because everybody was so nice. And I sent like a gif because I thought that was funny. You know the guy where he goes, nah. I sent that gif. And what's it called? Yeah, so got an Uber home. The dude was just like impolite. Like, he didn't say hello. He didn't say goodbye. Like, open the door. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Really, I didn't have anything to apologize for. Me just being polite. He like had called me when he first got to where I was at, and I just crossed the street and got in the car. I was like, I'm sorry about that. He didn't say hello. Didn't say anything. Got to the destination, and I said thank you. Didn't say anything. So I was just like, yo, a rarity. But yeah, anyways, got in here, like I said, just feeling kind of drained, and honestly just wanted to pass out on my bed because I was just feeling sad, overwhelmed, tired, stressed. I still feel like that kind of, but I went to the gym and I ran on the treadmill for 10 minutes. I haven't done that at all in years. I don't know if I've ever spent I don't think I've ever spent 10 full minutes on a treadmill at the speed I was going for 10 minutes ever. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever ran consistently on purpose for that long for 10 minutes ever. Like, at that speed, never. I don't think I've ever done that in my entire life. And it was, pretty difficult. I kept talking to myself, like, just do it. You got this. You can do this. Think about the things I want from life. Talking to God a little bit. And I took off my hat, took off my jacket. As I was running, I wanted to take off my wig. I'm obviously not wearing it now, but I wanted to take off my wig while I was running. And I was like, man, I might have to start working out with just my natural hair because the wig, man, I was feeling hot. I was feeling hot for real. So I, yeah, got back home. And I just thought about how I cut up that watermelon yesterday, and I'm very grateful I did that. Pulled this out. It's a foil thing of the watermelon I wrapped up. Ate some, had some water, and now I'm here talking to y'all. And right before I started talking to y'all, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like, rather than me even feel proud of myself, I just have to be thankful to God that I have the capacity today to have done this. Because God knows I have not felt like I had the capacity for a long time. I haven't felt like I've been able to do it for a long time. Even today, I felt drained. But, I wanted to get that running, and I'm just grateful that I was able to. Who knows if I'll have the strength to do that tomorrow? I don't know. There's some days where I think that I'll always have the strength for it, but I don't know. I really don't know. There might come a point where I feel like I can't control myself with food. There might come a point where I don't feel like I can make myself get out of bed in the morning. You never know. And I would pray against that. I would pray that I always feel like I'm energetic and like I do have the room to, do more in my day. I pray that I always feel like that. But, yeah. I'm thankful that I had capacity today, and I guess I can really only be in charge of this present moment and do my best with that. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm about to try to boil these soap berries and wash my hair, see how that goes. I'm so grateful to God that He's watching over my hair and letting it grow, and that He's allowed me to buy certain things that I'm able to nourish my scalp with and nourish my hair with, and that I'm able to like eat food, that I'm able to, like, the fact that I was able to eat these watermelon, the fact that I was able to buy it in the first place, that I was able to cut it up yesterday and kind of set myself up for this day to go well. Like, I'm just grateful for that. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat right now. I don't really want to eat what I ate yesterday, but that might be what I need to do. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to come talk to y'all about that capacity and being thankful for the capacity versus being proud, because I don't feel proud right now. I'm just grateful that I could even do it. Like, I don't feel that overwhelming sense of like, yeah, I did it, like a passionate. I'm just like, thank you, God, that you allowed me to get in there today, straight up. Because I do not feel, I don't feel that great feeling, that net. Yeah. Yep. Trying to figure out some things, y'all. But anyways, much love. I hope this video has been able to help you in some way. Definitely subscribe. Let me know if y'all want to hear my opinion or like advice on anything. I'm definitely in my philosophy wave of like telling y'all the things that I really think about. And I think this is beautiful. I think it's important. And I'm glad to be able to even do this today. So much love to y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.